Hello and welcome to all. Today, I invite you on a journey through media history, where mystery and controversy mingle with the great names of the press. And at the heart of this whirlwind stands a figure who can't be ignored. Robert Maxwell, a businessman of undeniable talent. He succeeded in creating a media empire that made him one of the most powerful barons of his time. But what could have been a simple success story suddenly turns into an intrigue worthy of the best detective novels. One ordinary day, shocking news hits the headlines: Maxwell has disappeared. In the shadow of this tragedy lurks another story, that of a financial scandal that will shake the foundations of his empire. So, who really was Robert Maxwell? What really happened? And what secrets were carefully hidden behind the walls of these companies? Get ready, because we're about to plunge into a story where nothing is what it seems. And if you enjoy content like this, don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and turn on all notifications so you don't miss our upcoming video. Born on June 10, 1923, in the picturesque landscape of Czechoslovakia, in the heart of Eastern Europe, young Robert Maxwell grew up in a reality marked by his Jewish identity. This context, rich in tradition and at the same time confronted with the upheavals of the 20th century, forged the character of the future media magnate. The Second World War, with its horrors and chaos, hit Maxwell's family hard. Like so many others, they were caught up in the turmoil of the Holocaust, that dark chapter in history when millions of Jews were persecuted and exterminated. This tragic period, which left indelible scars, was a catalyst for young Robert, fueling his determination to seek a better future, far from the horrors of war. But it wasn't just personal hardship that set Robert apart. As the conflict drew to a close and Europe was ravaged, Maxwell was on the front line, demonstrating a courage and determination that drew attention. More than just an ordinary soldier, his heroism was recognized by the award of the Military Cross in 1945. A distinction that recognizes outstanding acts of bravery in the field. Following this, Maxwell underwent a radical change. He was posted to Berlin with the British occupation forces. As an officer in this rebuilding city, he forged business links and used his connections to set up various trading enterprises. It was in this context that he offered to publish the scientific journals of the German specialist publisher Springer Verlag on an international scale. At a time when the latter was unable to do so in its own name due to post-war restrictions, Maxwell's initiative proved a resounding success. Building on this success, in 1951 he bought the small publisher Pergamon. In just a few years, thanks to his negotiating skills and sharp entrepreneurial vision, Maxwell was able to take over Pergamon. He transformed Pergamon Press into a major player in the publishing world, specializing in the sale of encyclopedias and scientific journals. With this flourishing business, Maxwell quickly made a fortune. Then, in 1946, feeling the need to turn over a new leaf and consolidate his new status, Maxwell moved to Great Britain. Seduced by its promise of opportunity and renewal, he took the symbolic decision to adopt a new name, choosing Maxwell as the emblem of his new identity. This gesture was much more than a simple change of marital status. It was an affirmation of his ability to reinvent himself, leaving behind the traumas of war to embrace the possibilities of a new future. But he didn't stop there. In the 1960s, driven by an ambition to serve the public better, he entered politics. Elected as a Labour MP to the British House of Commons between 1964 and 1970, he immersed himself in the UK's crucial debates and decisions. However, his brusque and sometimes arrogant personality made him unpopular within his parliamentary group, which cost him his re-election. Nevertheless, after this failure in politics, Maxwell never lost his ambition. In 1984, he pulled off one of his most remarkable coups when he bought the Mirror Group, one of the UK's leading newspaper conglomerates. This media group, which includes the Daily Mirror, one of the UK's most popular tabloids, became a key element in his business portfolio. And although the Mirror Group is only one part of his media empire, as he has also acquired other prestigious titles, it is with this group that he will make his name. Indeed, following his acquisition of the Mirror Group, Maxwell's imprint quickly became apparent. Under his stewardship, the group experienced moments of great prosperity, but also phases of tension. And while his business acumen was often praised, his authoritarian governance and direct interference in the editorial process were criticized. According to many observers of the time, Maxwell saw the press as much more than a simple information tool. For some, it was also a means for him to assert his power and influence public opinion. However, whether one admires or criticizes his management style, Maxwell's impact on the British media landscape is undeniable. He succeeded in shaping public opinion through his publications, demonstrating the extent of his influence and vision. But if the general public knew the charismatic Robert Maxwell for his media successes and his power to influence, the other side of the coin revealed a far less glowing picture. The reason for this was that his companies were in fact hiding secrets that were soon to cast a shadow over their owner. These secrets, at the root of financial scandals, were to have a direct and devastating impact on those closest to him professionally, his employees. The latter, having invested years of hard work and placing their trust in the security of their pension funds, were confronted with a devastating reality. Their funds had been used to alleviate the financial problems of Maxwell's companies. A profound betrayal, leaving thousands without the financial cushion they had counted on for their retirement. And it didn't end there. Rumors were multiplying about the accounts of Maxwell's companies. Some whispered that the figures had been fixed, painted a rosier color to seduce investors and conceal a precarious situation. There was also talk of shell companies, of elaborate structures designed to hide massive debts. To those privy to the rumors, it seemed that Maxwell had created a veritable financial labyrinth, where every twist and turn revealed a new deception. Mysterious financial transactions also surfaced, adding further suspense to an already complex situation. But in the midst of all this, it was the employees who felt the heaviest burden. Many spoke of unrelenting pressure coming directly from Maxwell. In the offices, the atmosphere was tense, mistrust omnipresent. This situation weighed heavily on the shoulders of the workers, who deeply felt the impact of their managers' decisions. After these palpable tensions within the company, 1991 brought staggering news that shook the media world. On November 5, Robert Maxwell, then aged 68, had disappeared, and shortly afterwards we learned of his death. His body was soon found floating near his yacht, the Lady Ghislaine, near the Canary Islands. And while her disappearance was a shock in itself, it was the circumstances surrounding her death that added another layer of enigma to the story. Many wondered how such a powerful media mogul, known for his combative nature, could have ended up like this. The official theory is that he drowned accidentally, suggesting that he might have slipped or fallen overboard. But the suddenness of his death, which occurred against a backdrop already fraught with secrets and controversy, fueled a myriad of conspiracy theories. Some rumors claim that he was assassinated, eliminated by powers that wanted to silence him or take revenge for some of his actions. Others point to a possible suicide, suggesting that the pressure of his financial problems and the threat of having his misdeeds exposed pushed him over the edge. Although speculation abounds, the truth behind his death remains shrouded in mystery. But that's not the most astonishing part. For beyond the financial controversies and his tragic end, an even more fascinating intrigue surrounded Maxwell. That of his possible links with the world of espionage. Indeed, some put forward the incredible idea that this influential businessman was, in fact, a multi-hatted agent. The rumors were audacious. Maxwell was said to have been a double, even triple agent, with indications that he had worked for British and Israeli intelligence services. And there was more. Some even thought he might have had links with other foreign agencies. His constant travels, astonishing connections and secret meetings provided fertile ground for such speculation. But was he really a spy? To date, nothing has been confirmed. Whether he was a secret agent or a shrewd businessman, the mystery surrounding Maxwell persists. However, one thing is certain. In the wake of his tragic death, the consequences of his actions and decisions have been far-reaching. In fact, due to their haphazard management, his companies failed to survive him and went bankrupt, leaving behind him an empire in ruins. And where the empire collapsed, the Maxwell family faced up to the tumult. His children, closely involved in his business affairs, tried to navigate the rough waters left by their father's storm. And among them, Ghislaine Maxwell particularly stood out, adding a new layer of controversy to an already high-profile name. Nevertheless, despite these tremors, it would be simplistic to see Robert Maxwell only as a reckless businessman or a controversial patriarch. Indeed, his influence on the British media landscape has been considerable. His boldness, vision and ability to reshape and lead media institutions have left an indelible mark, significantly shaping the industry. So, although Robert Maxwell is long gone, his imprint lives on in the media world. A bold businessman, he left an indelible mark on the news industry. His life, rich in twists and turns, was punctuated by daring actions and controversies that continue to fascinate the world. He is both the influential tycoon who redefined British journalism, and the enigmatic figure who is the subject of rumor and speculation. Despite the grey areas surrounding some of his actions, his name still resonates, illustrating both the grandeur and the complexities of an era.